Let us for a few moments meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all gods and goddesses. Let us pray to him to have real love and devotion towards him. Let us pray to him for peace, joy and prosperity. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishna te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all gods and goddesses, the Supreme Incarnate, who harmonized all religions of the world, who gave wonderful teachings of practical spirituality, who manifested in himself tremendous love towards everyone, who gave to the world definite ideals to follow, who pointed out the supreme aim of our life is to realize the divine. Then only life is said to be complete. Without the realization of the divine, life is incomplete. That means we may have to take life after life till the life becomes complete. Life gets complete only when we turn our mind to God. So, life after life we are given opportunity by the Divine Mother to turn towards her. Those who turn, they will have their life blessed. Anyway, spiritual life is the path that takes us towards knowledge, that destroys all ignorance. that destroys all bondage, that gives illumination, that gives peace and joy and infinite bliss. So Sri Ramakrishna has shown definite paths for us, and he has specified the spiritual disciplines to be undertaken by us. The only way in this Kali Yuga is to completely surrender to the inscrutable power of the divine. The meaning of self-surrender is that we should not be egoistic. So we have to purify ourselves. It is called preparations for spiritual path. How are we prepared ourselves to go in this path? If we give careful attention to our preparedness, then only we get positive benefits in going through spiritual path. So in this context, Sri Ramakrishna tells us very important, essential quality that we should cherish in our heart. It is very important. That is, Sri Ramakrishna has said, do not hate anyone. One sutra. Do not hate anyone. If we practice this one idea in our life becomes blessed. The meaning of not hating anyone is understood when we love everyone. The same thing is given by Lord Krishna in the Gita, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. Never harbor hate towards anyone in the creation. We have to prepare our mind in that direction. Simply telling, I am so many years I am practicing spirituality, but nothing is happening. Nothing will happen. Be sure. If something is to be achieved, you must follow meticulously the ways and means prescribed by Mahatmas. Sri Ramakrishna in this age has given wonderful instructions. Everything organized in a very neat way. There is no confusion. Everything is clear, straightforward, simple and grand. Still we are not ready. That only shows we are terribly weak-minded. We have become terribly worldly. It is extremely difficult for us even to understand the import of these ideas. The spiritual ideas appear very dry as long as our mind is soaked in the worldliness. Worldliness comprises selfishness, jealousy, hatred, anger, gone, adding to the list. Everything that degrades the mind, that is said to be worldliness. Anything that upgrades the mind is spiritual. So Sri Ramakrishna tells here very clearly, the hatred and anger, these two Rakshasas, have occupied our mind. And they don't allow anybody inside. Where we find this hatred and anger, it shows that there is lot of egoism. Hatred and anger are the signs of ego. If a man hates anyone or gets angry with anyone, you may be sure he has not conquered his ego. As long as he has not conquered his ego, he cannot feel true love in his heart. He can never understand the meaning of true love. All love that we have understood in this world is stained love. So, it means that when we are trying to go in spiritual path, we should brush aside all hatred, all jealousy, all selfishness and egotism. True, it is very, very difficult, but it has to be uprooted. It has to go. These things have occupied our heart like tumor. Tumor is malignant. It kills the person. So these are malignants in our spiritual life. These tumors, jealousy, hatred, Baba, selfishness. That is why the discipline of charity is given. Why? Because to get rid of selfishness. People are so selfish, so calculative, so self-centered. Even a bit of it, if they practice, it appears as if they have reached heaven. So how to check these things? How to check? Sri Ramakrishna tells, through Viveka. I don't want to translate this Viveka in English. It is too insipid. Viveka, right judgment. Even then the definition is not complete. Some people say discrimination. Anyway, we will not be able to catch the exact meaning of Viveka. Well, Sri Ramakrishna tells, put Viveka as a security guard at the doors of your mind. Viveka is a security guard. Wherever there is rise of jealousy, hatred, immediately there should be alarm. You must shake yourself thoroughly. What is this? Nonsense. Something is coming bad. Try to get over that mood. They may come in spite of our not liking them, but they come because of previous samskaras, because of our present association with bad people, because of our worldly surroundings, because we want to dance according to the worldly people. Oh Swamiji, all are dancing, so I should also dance. Otherwise I will be called as unsocial. Alright, if you want to dance, you enjoy the dancing. Why do you think of spirituality? So, Viveka, that security guard must be very strong. He must be very alert. Not simply some idiot and stupid security guard is posted there. What is the good of that security guard? He must be alert, he must be smart, he must be very efficient in carrying out his duties. So it means how to know that Viveka is guarding our mind properly. How to know it? The indication comes. That is, the Viveka will not allow any evil thought to enter our mind. That's it. Sometimes we know certain things, but we don't know how to handle them. Because we don't know how to handle, we are lodged in suffering. Unnecessarily. If you know how to handle it, most difficult situations you can simply overcome easily. All difficulties blow away by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. Those who read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, probably you become aware how Sri Ramakrishna has given so many parables explaining so many things. There's a tiger Narayana and the elephant Narayan. Narayan is in everywhere. When Narayan is pervading everywhere, he should be in tiger also, he should be in elephant also, he should be in serpent also, he should be in scorpion also. He is everywhere. So, first of all we must know the fact. What is the fact? Narayana is everywhere. Next comes the question of dealing with them. When you know it is tiger Narayana, when you know it is a lion, elephant Narayan, it will be foolish if you confront them. What we should do, we should live away from a tiger and an elephant. Not only keeping away, we should salute them from a distance. How majestic the elephant. How beautiful the tiger looks. Without tiger and elephant, what is this forest? The forest has no beauty without wild animals. Wild animals are beauty to the forest. So like that you develop a kind of reverence for the creation, then saluting them from a distance, thinking that it is through the will of God that they are what they are. And that it is through His will again that we are what we are. And that His will can in a moment redeem them forever. Forest animals, and drag us down. Everything depends on the will of God. If we understand this secret, that everything is done by the supreme power of the divine, this idea should be able to destroy our pride, our dirty egotism once for all. Whenever such thoughts as hatred, jealousy try to creep in, we should pray earnestly. Pray, pray. Remember the ideals set before us by Sri Ramakrishna and struggle unremittingly. We should pray to God, we should pray to Sri Ramakrishna, oh Lord, please purify my mind, purify my heart. Let my mind become free of all impurities. So, to hate and injure anybody is to hate and injure the Divine Lord who pervades the whole world. As I told earlier, Lord Krishna has mentioned as one of the important features of a devotee, Adveshta Sarvabhutana, Maitraha Karunevacha, Nirmamo Nirahankara. What fine qualities. Concentrate upon those qualities. Meditate upon those ideas. Let our whole life be dedicated to practice those ideas in our life. Then everything will come. God's vision will come. Illumination will come. Realization will come. And we get immense peace and joy in the end. So, do not hate anyone. The more we dwell our mind on this idea, the more we become peaceful. The next important teaching Sri Ramakrishna said, in this Kali Yuga, it is extremely difficult, though not impossible, to practice Vedic rituals and worships and so on. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, don't despair on that account. Worship God. Worship the Divine as the Divine Mother. Sri Ramakrishna himself is example for that. Do you want to get over worldliness? Come to Divine Mother. It is very easy to approach Mother than the Father. And Mother is always kind. She is always kind. So she is called Mother. If you find anybody not having this quality, they cannot be called as Mother. Her mind is full of kindness and love towards her children. Whether children know it or not, Mother knows it. That's the beauty of the Mother. So Sri Ramakrishna tells, take refuge in her with the fullest confidence and in a spirit of self-surrender. She is not just like an earthly mother. She knows our internal feelings. She knows perfectly well when a particular child wants the vision of her earnestly, and she does oblige accordingly at the right moment. On our side, how to please the Divine Mother? By going to her with all earnestness. We must keep on calling on her. We should keep on repeating her divine name without losing Shraddha. We should repeat her divine name with reverence, devotion, wholehearted concentration. Then we should take refuge in her with complete self-surrender. She will ordain all that is necessary, and that at the right moment. There is nothing that cannot be accomplished by the Mother, because Divine Mother, Shakti, Adi Shakti, Para Shakti, it is the Shakti of Brahman. When that Shakti, when that Divine Mother is pleased, you get everything. And another important point we should remember here. Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother have come together so that we can make our life blessed, so that we can realize our cherished goal of spirituality. Shakti is present in the physical form as Holy Mother. Parabrahman is present in the physical form as Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is Lord Vishnu himself. Sri Sharda Devi, Holy Mother, Goddess Lakshmi herself. They are inseparable. They are inseparable. I don't know whether you have visited Srinivasa Temple. In Chicago we have got, in Aurora we have got Srinivasa Temple. In Lemont also we have got temple. If you see Lord Srinivasa there. You see that closely. Goddess Lakshmi is staying in the heart of Lord Srinivasa. You must remember that without the Master's grace, you cannot get the Holy Mother. Just as without the Holy Mother's grace, you cannot get the Divine Master. So, we should pray to Holy Mother for strength, without which nothing can be done. We should invoke the Mother. Everything will be all right. Why Sri Ramakrishna is very emphatic about this? Because Sri Ramakrishna has realized in his life and he has understood the kindness of Mother. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling the Divine Mother is extremely kind, very kind. That's the point. It's because she is very kind, we can approach her any time. That's the idea. Third point, third teaching, Sri Ramakrishna said that in this age, Narada's path of devotion is best. Bhakti Yoga. You can utilize all your emotions, all your faculties in purifying yourself so that you can reach and enjoy the beauty of God. So these are some of my comments on my reading in the last class. Now I shall read a few passages. Next you can ask questions. Chapter 14, page 297. One day, Sri Ramakrishna is referring to a particular holy man in Benares. That holy man was reading the Gita. He was so strict about the monastic rules that he would not read a holy book looking at a worldly man. So, he turned his face toward me, meaning Sri Ramakrishna, and his back on Mathur, who was also present. It was this holy man who told me of Narada's path of devotion as suited to the people of the Kali Yuga. Master Mahasaya asked, are not sadhus of his class followers of the Vedanta? Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, they are, but they also accept the path of devotion. The fact is that in the Kali Yuga, one cannot wholly follow the path laid down in the Vedas. Once a man said to me that he would perform the Puruscharan of the Gayatri. I said, why don't you do that according to the Tantra? In the Kali Yuga, the discipline of Tantra is very efficacious. It is extremely difficult to perform the rites enjoined in the Vedas. Further, at the present time, people lead the life of slaves. Perhaps the master was referring to the foreign rule in India at that time. It is said that those who serve others for 12 years or so become slaves. They acquire the traits of those they serve. While serving their masters, they acquire the rajas, the tamas, the spirit of violence, the love of luxury, and the other traits of their masters. Not only do they serve their masters, but they also enjoy a pension after their term of service is over. Once a Vedantic monk came here. He used to dance at the sight of a cloud. He would go into an ecstasy of joy over a rainstorm. He would get very angry if anyone went near him when he meditated. One day I came to him while he was meditating, and that made him very cross. He discriminated constantly. Brahman alone is real, and the world is illusory. Since the appearance of diversity is due to Maya, he walked about with a prism from a chandelier in his hand. One sees different colors through the prism. In reality, there is no such thing as color. Likewise, nothing exists in reality except Brahman, but there is an appearance of the manifold because of Maya, egoism. He would not look at an object more than once, lest he should be deluded by Maya and attachment. He would discriminate while taking his bath, at the sight of birds flying in the sky. He knew grammar. He stayed here for 3 days. One day he heard the sound of a flute near the embankment and said that a man who had realized Brahman would go into samadhi at such a sound. While talking about the monk, the master showed his devotees the manners and movements of a Paramahamsa. The gait of a child, face beaming with laughter, eyes swimming in joy, and body completely naked. Then he again took his seat on the small couch and poured out his soul-enthralling words. Master said to him, I learnt Vedanta from Nangta, that is Totapuri. Brahman alone is real, the world is illusory. The magician performs his magic. He produces a mango tree, which even bears mangoes, but this is all sleight of hand. The magician alone is real. Master Maharshi said, it seems that the whole of life is a long sleep. This much I understand, that we are not seeing things rightly. We perceive the world with a mind by which we cannot comprehend even the nature of the sky. So how can our perceptions be correct? Master said, there's another way of looking at it. We do not see the sky rightly. It looks as if the sky were touching the ground at the horizon. How can a man see correctly? His mind is delirious, like the mind of a typhoid patient. The master sang in a sweet voice, when a delirious fever is this that I suffer from, O mother, thy grace is my only cure. Continuing, the master said, truly it is a state of delirium. Just see how worldly men quarrel among themselves. No one knows what they quarrel about. Oh, how they quarrel. May such and such a thing befall you. How much shouting, how much abuse. Master Maharshi said, I said to Kishore, the box is empty. There is nothing inside. But 2 men pull at it from either side, thinking the box contains money. Well, the body alone is the cause of all this mischief, isn't it? The Jnanis see all this and say to themselves, what a relief one feels when this pillowcase of the body drops off. The master and Yam went toward the Kali temple. Master said, why should you say such things? This world may be a framework of illusion, but it is also said that it is a mansion of mirth. Let the body remain. One can also turn this world into a mansion of mirth. Master Maharshi said, but where is unbroken bliss in this world? Sri Ramakrishna answered, yes. Where is it? Sri Ramakrishna stood in front of the shrine of Kali and prostrated himself before the Divine Mother. M followed him. Then the master sat on the lower floor in front of the shrine room facing the blissful image and leaned against a pillar of the Nath Mandir. He wore a red bordered cloth, part of which was on his shoulder and back. M sat by his side. Master Maharshi said, since there is no unbroken happiness in the world, why should one assume a body at all? I know that the body is bhavana. Bhavana? Bhavana is different. Bhavana is different. Bhavana means house. Bhavan. Bhavana means feeling, heart. So bhavana means the whole mind must be directed towards the deity whom you are worshipping. You are sitting there to worship, but every now and then you turn your back to see how many people have come and who is at the door. some doorbell is coming, immediately he goes out to open the door. Not only broken, it gives no benefit at all. The vrat is broken. The vow. See, when you sit in front of the Lord while worshipping, whatever may be the reason, you should not stir out. No, the point is, you see, I found in a place. I go, generally I go to places where they invite me, and I had gone to many places in America. In one such place I saw the person is sitting in front of God, which she is worshipping, because afterwards she has to go. She is a doctor. She has no time afterwards. That part is very good. As soon as she gets up, she takes bath and comes and sits. But what made me to think was that she's sitting there all right, but she's keeping the phone near her, telephone. And she's trying to chant one or two lines, immediately the call comes. Turn, turn, turn. She lifts up. So she answers the phone call. Again she sits in puja. Again she is interrupted. I began to watch how long it will take. She sat there about half an hour. In half an hour time she got 30 calls. So you tell me, that kind of worship, how can God accept? Not pujari, she herself was doing. But she is a doctor, emergency there may be. Whatever, see, people are very intelligent to give reasons for whatever they do. They take shelter, wonderful shelter under their deceiving excuses. When it comes to the question of discipline, no deceiving humbug will be accepted. You see, it's called direct service. You are serving the Lord. If you want to have a spiritual goal to be realized, then there should not be any interruption. Sit for 5 minutes, very good. There was one person, even now I remember. His name is Glen Overton. I still remember his name because the incident was so touching. That's why I still remember. I was a brahmacharin in Bangalore, and this Glen Overton is coming from America. He is probably somewhere in Holland, Michigan area. His son is there now. This Glen Overton used to come every year to Bangalore for the very important reason. His guru was in Bangalore, who was the head of the Bangalore ashram. That is Swami Chidananda. And he was so fortunate to have his blessings. So he wanted to have some kind of spiritual life in his presence. Sannidhana, Guru Sannidhana, we say. Guru Sannidhana. In the place of the Guru. And do you know, he constructed the house himself. Even the house was named Overton House. It's called as Overton House. Whenever that gentleman comes, he will stay there. Once he comes there, he would stay for a month or two, and then he would come back. And he would go back with so much of joy and so much of happiness. The rest of the time, he had told that house can be used by anybody, any guests, any swamis who come. We used to give to swamis who would come and stay there. The point, what I am going to tell you is, what I am impressed upon by this gentleman is that when he sat for meditation, he would sit for 3 hours. He would put a signboard. I was amazed to see that. Outside the entrance, a big, nicely written, sitting for meditation, nobody to disturb. See, you are approaching God with devotion. With devotion.
Yes.
You play your part well.
Okay.
Don't worry about how that priest does or not. That you are not to worry. You go there. That is why it's all subjective. Let me be sincere in my prayers. Let me offer my prayers sincerely. Let me not depend upon somebody else. Why do you want proxy? That's the point. Let me do it on myself. Whatever little I do it yourself. I already told, it is tested. It's not simply telling. It is tested. What? The Divine Mother is very kind. So, no, this is not some worldly people telling. It's not simply worldly people saying, oh God, good God. Many times they say God, God, God. But it has no meaning. But if a spiritual man, a man who has realized the truth, if he tells that, it has got tremendous significance. So he has told, Sri Ramakrishna has said, Mother is very kind. Even if you offer 5 minutes devotedly, if you offer your prayers, it will be responded. It will be responded, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. So, there are so many reasons for that, why the priests also behave like that. It is the people only that make the priest corrupt. Why? The people, they want to pull him. They want to ask question. Somebody, third man will come. He wants to go urgently somewhere. So he doesn't care about whether the priest is doing job, etc. He doesn't want to finish his question and go. It comes to that. It comes to that. You see, otherwise, what happens? The reason is this. It was not to be like that. But nowadays what has happened? Otherwise they cannot live the life. Who will take care of them? Suppose if they go on doing the duty properly, who will take care of them? That is true, but the point is this: if the priest is not a good one, or if the priest is not performing the puja properly, then you will not get the real benefit which you ought to have got. That is why you feel it is true. It is true. But what you should do, what you can do, you do that. That's also. That is true. But that is true. I agree that point. So we have to prepare the people in that field. For example, a pujari. So what is to be done? Everything that is needed for taking care of the pujari must be looked after by somebody else. And then it can be done. And moreover, the priest, the pujari himself must live a life of purity and devotion, austerity, etc. Then that is one way of explaining the things. See, there is different approach. Whatever approach you are taking, you must go accordingly. If you have got a Vedantic approach, then the grace here, it means the grace of the mind. The grace of the mind, if the mind is not graceful, however you may jump, you will not be able to do anything. See, that's why the Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Uddhared Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayet Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu Atmaiva Repuratmanaha. Your mind itself is your enemy, your mind itself is your friend. So you have to raise your mind yourself. So everything is to be done by yourself. There is no question of some external agent there. So mind is friend as long as it cooperates with you. So when it tries to cooperate, that means you have received the grace of the mind. Manah prasada. Yeah, manah prasada is very important. How do you get that manah prasada? By getting rid of the impurities from the mind, which I dealt with before you came here. Yeah, the impurities of the mind are egoism, hatred, jealousy. These are all impurities of the mind. As long as these impurities are in the mind behaves like an enemy. When these impurities are removed, then it behaves like a very good friend. So our task should be how to get rid of these impurities already lodged in the mind. Supreme power, that supreme power is in your own self. For example, Agni Devata, fire. It is a supreme power, Agni. Tremendous power. Tremendous. But that tremendous power is present in a small matchstick. Is it not? It may be very, very, very minute, but that power is manifested there. Suppose you bring that matchstick, if you blow it, if you light it near a gasoline, immediately it blows up everything. That means the power gets manifested through the medium. So in the same way, the Paramatman, the Supreme Consciousness, is present in everyone in the form of Atman. That's what Acharya Shankara says, Jivatma Paramatma Abhed. So, once we understand our own true nature, then that means we have realized the truth. So, to realize our own nature, we have to go through the mind. We have to go through the mind and then leave the mind. Manas. Yeah, Antakarana. Yeah, Antakarana is subtle instrument. Antakarana. Karana means instrument. Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. There are all many facets. There are many facets of the one, the general term, mind, manas. So, you have to go to the transcendent reality through the mind only. There is no escape. You can't avoid the mind and go. So, even if you leave the body, mind comes with you. I am your companion. Why are you going away without me? Even if you want, let him go, it won't go. It always comes with you. So only at the time of samadhi, when you completely turn your mind, as I said, when the mind is completely freed from all the impurities, then mind gets, that mind itself, you will know, mind itself has become Atman. You will realize, you become aware, nothing but Atman exists everywhere. That is reality. Once you have the truth, then you are enjoying that bliss forever. Yeah, you please read that. You see, if you want to go through this knowledge, if you are interested in this spiritual knowledge, there is one particular book called Atma Bodha. That is an excellent book composed by Acharya Shankar, and very good English translation has been done by Nikhilanandji. Beautiful. It is there. It is there. So, if you want to practice Vedanta, practice it properly. But disciplines are common, whether you practice Vedanta, whether you practice devotion, bhakti, whether you practice karma. Disciplines are common. Common disciplines, fundamentals. Common fundamentals, they are all same. Just as if you want to raise a building, whatever type of building you may raise, foundation is same. Foundation is to be laid. So like that, you must have good foundation. Then you must have definite plan of doing the things and go accordingly. Every mantra purifies. Every mantra has got that power. Every mantra, not only Vedic texts, even the mantras from the Puranas, even the shlokas. What I am telling is, Shiva Sankalpa is all right, but in the same way, the other mantras also. It's a mantric world. So many mantras are there. All mantras have got powers. Yeah, every mantra has got a power, but it manifests only when you live a disciplined, pure life. Not otherwise. It will not manifest. Because if it manifests, then you will be wielding enormous power. So, you must be helpful to the society, not destructive. So, the divine power is so careful about granting a vision to the persons, because so many times people abuse the power. That's what Lord Krishna says. If you know if there is any man having any siddhi, etc., make sure that he has not realized me. That means he has not realized the final truth. Because they will be just spending their time in that power, in that occult power. So, siddhis are like that. They come and after some time they desert you. And you will be again same old self. So you must not aspire for all those things. Even though they may come, let them come. Pay salutations to them. Go ahead. March ahead. Don't stop. In the spiritual energy, you should never stop. You must keep on moving. Don't sit down. You will move. Maybe someday you may walk about 2 miles, some other day you may walk about 1 mile, doesn't matter. But keep on moving. That is the way of doing spiritual practice. Any more question? Yeah. What do you feel? Oh, like sound. How long? What time? Daytime or night time? Night at what time? Sometimes you may hear some sounds, but do you feel happy over hearing those sounds? If you feel joy by hearing that sound, then it's all right. Sometimes due to some vibrations in our thinking process, they might cause such sounds in our mind. But we should not deviate our attention from what we are doing and keep on practicing your spiritual devotions steadfastly, then in course of time everything gets clarified. Ignore. Don't give any importance to that, but only if it helps you to maintain your spiritual mood, it's all right. Sometimes, of course, personally speaking, when I would hear the sound of the Meghanada, Megha means cloud. Nada, the sound coming to the Megha, not the thunder sound, the mild Meghanada. Whenever I hear that, I feel a kind of joy, and it creates me a spiritual mood. So sublime mood I get into. I get into sublime mood, particularly when the rainy season. Sometimes the gudu 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 gudu, like that, the sound in the sky, not the terrific sound, the mild sound. So like that, Shabda Brahma. There may be different sounds, and we are not very sure about whether that sound is coming from your own mind, or whether the sound is from sometimes some external sound. Suppose some plane goes boom, like that the sound comes. So we are not sure whether that is because of meditating, or because if it is maybe external sound also. But we are not to bother about that. No, it's not anger. Do not hate anyone. That is, Sri Ramakrishna is very emphatic about that. The hatred and anger, they are the signs of ego. That means the mind is impure. Unless the mind gets purified, you will not get love towards God. However puja you may do, to whatsoever number of temples you may go, you will not be able to make any achievement unless you develop love in your heart towards the deity. For example, I myself have felt when I went to Tirupati, that is Lord Srinivasa temple in South India. It is really fantastic temple. I am speaking from the devotee point of view, not from any other angle. Millions of people go, and their attitudes are different, their approaches are different. That's all. But why should I break my head over those things? What is my approach? See, God is standing in front of everyone. He sees everyone. How I behave myself, let me do that. Why should I take the responsibility of how the other man does? Thereby I get the spiritual benefit. I was immensely pleased. My first visit, even now I remember. Sometimes for sitting meditation, I remember my first visit to Lord Venkateshwara temple. That creates a very good mood in my heart to think about God. See, so gracious and so nice and so well. People, they behave according to their temperaments, according to their samskaras. Each one is different. Each one is different, and each one is really competent. But it depends upon where he stands. It depends upon from which point he is moving onwards. Every man's journey is different. Your responsibility is you have to make your bhavana concentrated, and your bhavana must be pure. That is, you must develop, you must enrich your mind with spiritual noble qualities, which is explained in Bhagavad Gita again, in chapter 17, Devasa Sampadvibhaga Yogo Nama, Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhihi. So like that, he has given a big list is given, how we should develop those qualities. It's only in human life you can develop these things, in no other life. In God's, suppose you get a God's body in your next life, because you have done so many selfless activities. But you have no opportunity there to develop your spiritual qualities in the heaven. The heaven is meant only for your enjoyment. Now you're enjoying this 4-bedroom complex, there you will enjoy 1,000-room complex, that's all. No, you should think like this. Whatever bad is done, it is done through me. Whatever good is done, let give the credit to the God. See, one thing about God you must always remember. God is like ocean, like sagar. Ocean, it doesn't keep anything for itself. One day, I was going along the ocean in Madras beach, Mylapore beach. I was going, there is Ashtalakshmi temples are there. Fantastic, beautiful. First time I am seeing, I was so happy to see that. While going to that area, I saw from a distance a black strip along the ocean. Just like a black lining, black border. I couldn't understand that. Then I asked the gentleman who was taking me, what is that? Like a big line, black line from one end to other end. Swamiji, that is the Suez water. The Suez water. Yeah. That they have let it to ocean. And the ocean doesn't take it. It throws out. It doesn't take. Ocean does not take anything. It throws out. What here I am telling is, whatever we do, everything is given to us back. In the form of reward. No, good and bad both have got its effects. Good and bad both have effects. For example, there is a story that Angulimala, once upon a time, was a great dacoit. He was looting the people, he was torturing the people, he was killing the people. And he was so fortunate to see Buddha. Lord Buddha, see, that is God's grace, that is God's infinite grace. They do it. The question of karma, they are above karma. See, the God, the Mahatmas, the holy people, this karma, all these things are for us only. Incarnations, what is there for them? The man who writes this karma can change it also. Supreme power has got that power. Supreme God has got that power. But ordinarily, karma works out. It's all right. But there is higher level. So that is a very important point. Yes, Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha he came to know that that particular guy was giving a lot of trouble to the people. What is this? So he himself went to see him. And that dacoit became very ferocious and he wanted to kill him. How dare you come near me? He is asking like that. But Buddha, personification of compassion and love and dignity, but he was not disturbed. He just went in front of him and stood before him. He didn't speak anything. Angulimala looked at him. By just looking at Buddha, he was transformed. Because that grace, that divine beauty, that enchanting personality, he was amazed. What is this? And he's so joyful, so peaceful, and so full. And the point is, there is a point in my telling this. So he begged him and Swamiji, please take me as your disciple. Forgive me for all the faults I have done so far. I have tortured many people. Please forgive me, take me. Lord Buddha forgave him. He said, all right, very good. It's all right. Whatever done is past. Don't worry about that. Come on. So he made him a monk. Then he told him, go now for bhiksha. Go and beg the food from the people. So he went out. People don't know that he has become a monk. So when they saw him, they were running away. But once or twice they found out he is not doing any mischief, he is not killing them, he is not throwing stones, etc. He is simply keeping quiet. So then they became, oh, some change has happened in his place. So then they began to take revenge. They began to throw stones at him. Whole body was bruised. Whole body. Blood was oozing out. He never reacted. He returned back to Buddha. Oh, Master, I am following your instruction, but I am getting all these blows from the people. He was weeping. Then Buddha said, my child, bear with them. Bear. Why they are doing? Because this is the reaction of your so many things you have done. It's a reaction. Bear them. By bearing them, you will burn them. You will burn the impurities by bearing. Just bear. So life also should be treated like that. Difficulties come, don't run away. Don't become upset. Bear it. It burns out. Suffering, it burns your impurities. Suffering is a fire. It's compared to a fire, Agni. It's easy for me to tell, but that is the philosophy. See, you must always hold on to philosophy. Then only you will get peace of mind. Otherwise, what joy is there in this life, you tell me, morning to night? What joy is there? All right, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His grace unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness. Who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name? O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant. O sweet one, in Thy mercy consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from Thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou, who steerest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.